I've read, I think, most of the Bible, but that was from childhood anyway, had lots of stories from it. I've read lots of different books.
You read the Quran, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
I read it very seriously.
Nice.
And I've read Buddhist texts, and I found that the specifically about suffering, what they talk about Buddhism and suffering,
In Buddhism.
very interesting.
In
Yeah,
Buddhism.
they have like
Yeah.
4 points about suffering, called the 4 Noble Truths. I find that very interesting to follow in my meditation, because it's not saying you have to believe this or not. Like, it's just, you have some suffering in your life.
So what are the 4 points?
The first point is that there is suffering.
Yes, we know that.
Then that there is an origin of suffering, which is hanging on to desire. And then that there is a way out of, like an end of suffering, where you let go of this, like the habits you were talking about, or the desires that stop you. There's an end of suffering. And the 4th one, that there is a way out of suffering, which involves wisdom, morality, and concentration.
Okay. Sorry, when you say end of suffering would be death, at least in this world.
That can be an understanding, but I think when you're alive, you can be totally at peace and still have lots of pain, but not suffer.
Yeah, but pain is part of suffering.
I think suffering is
cannot-
how you take pain.
Yeah, but you can handle the pain, but it's still suffering. So, for example, maybe your threshold is higher for pain, but if you are in pain, then that is still suffering.
For example, you lose somebody that you love, they die.
Yeah.
Maybe because of your personal relationship to what is, you decide that you don't decide, but you can let your grief go, because you think, now my mother or my inshallah,
You get over it.
friend, they are happy because they are where they are and they are closer to our source. So you get over it, you let go, you are at peace. Somebody else, they lose their loved one, but they do not have.
I see what you mean. Hanging on to the grief.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, that is one way of. It is how you manage grief, I guess.
Yes.
Different people manage it different ways. I understand, but still, because when you said end of suffering, I meant all your life, not just letting go of one grief. Because you see, it doesn't matter how good a person you are, how devoted to God you are,
Oh, you
how much
meditate the whole life.
exactly how much you meditate. So this is something that we see as part of your life. Is you'll have ups and downs.
Yes.
Yeah?
That's true.
Yeah.